Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello,
Fish.
Hello, good people. Welcome to The Odds Couple, another edition of the large program here on this Thursday afternoon, getting you set for a big weekend in both college football and the National Football League.
I love weekends.
We love weekends here on the show. Here's what we got coming up today. We'll talk about what we're looking forward to this weekend and a full weekend. It's a different sort of weekend. We'll get into the schedule. It's not very good, just to be honest with everybody. But there is a big national game that we'll talk about as well. We will discuss some of the games and some of the trends in the SEC. And for that big national game, it's a big noon kickoff on Saturday. We also we got some Shield. We'll look at some of the NFL matchups. We got Fish Nuggets coming up on the show. We got a top 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're looking at our top 5 NFL teams now that the Chiefs are no longer undefeated. Top 5 NFL teams, and then we got our picks and free picks to round up the day. Again, I'm Rob Fisher. Thanks for being with us. Lang Whitaker is next to me. Hello, Lang.
How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm great. I noticed we all have on our black hoodies.
What you do today? How about that?
And our boss, one of the powers that be, saw us earlier and was like, "Hey, you guys match?" And I was like, "No, we always wear black on Thursdays."
Yeah. It's
Right?
a thing.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's a thing.
That's what I said. It was
We'll go
thing.
with it.
That Fish was like, "Yeah, it's a thing."
Yeah.
You haven't
Yeah.
noticed?
Adam Sandler movie. Just go with it.
And he looked and said, "Is it really?"
We said yes.
And
Yes.
we both thought to ourselves, "Man, don't watch a show."
Yeah.
So we can say whatever we want.
We say
exactly
whatever we want.
Guys, I had to go to the dentist this morning at 7:30 in the morning.
Oh no!
And I heard the words. I sat down in the chair. I had to get a little cosmetic filling. But as I sat in the chair, the woman goes, I'm going to numb it up. I'll give you a shot. This is the worst shot you can get at the dentist.
Oh,
And I was like, well, why would you tell me that beforehand?
Right.
Just
this
do
is
it.
really
Yeah,
going to be
just do it.
miserable.
Yeah. It was right like here on the top and the front.
Was it miserable?
It's not a lot of fat there. It's just like
Miserable?
Yeah.
It hurt pretty bad.
Sting,
I was
good
like,
sting?
I'll be fine. And then the doctor came in and did it, and it really hurt.
Did you make a noise?
No,
Like
because then I had I'd already set the tone, right? I'd already been like, I had said, she was like, this is the worst shot you can get at the dentist. And I said, I'm tough. And then the doctor did it, and I was like, oh my God, that really hurts. It feels like getting stung by a bee, like on your gum, right above your front tooth.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
Good. Well, I'm glad you made it. Glad you made it. Glad you're here.
It's been a long week for all of us.
All of us, yes. Been very busy. Hello, John Roser. How are
Hello,
you?
Rob Fisher. Doing well.
Congratulations on your week last week with the picks.
Yeah, it was not opposite week.
No.
Last week, so I hope
No.
you all followed along and did not fade. Don't fade them. That's a 5-0 week. Been waiting for one of those. Don't know if we have one of those for you this week, but
This is a weird week.
about our picks. We feel okay about them.
Yeah. It just feels, I don't like the week. It just feels very chalky to me. Very chalky week. CJ Hurt is here. Hello, CJ.
What's happening?
Nothing, man. How are you?
I'm good. Everything's good over here on this side.
Good. What do you think about the week coming up?
I'm sure we're gonna get into some of these games. I'm super excited about Indiana, Ohio State. I am excited about Arizona State, BYU as well. It's that week of the season where everybody's getting ready for rivalry week next week. So a bunch of teams are playing like the Mercers of the world, the Southeast Missouri States of the world. UMass's of the world.
Georgia plays UMass.
So it's kind of shoulder shrug to those, but there's still a handful of really good games, really intriguing games with national implications that I'm excited about.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at the weekend coming up.
Let's do it.
Then we'll discuss it. Look ahead to the SEC schedule this weekend. And yes, there are a lot of teams in the SEC that are playing teams that are lesser opponents, if you will. Ole Miss, for example, taking on Florida. That one's at least interesting.
That might be a good game.
Yeah, Ole Miss 10.5 at Florida. But then you got Georgia and Tennessee, both over 40-point favorites in their matchups. Texas 20.5 against Kentucky. South Carolina's got Wofford this week as well. So not many, at least in the opening slate
I feel like
of the week.
give Georgia and Tennessee and those teams, let them play a crappy team for once.
Yeah,
What do
right.
you mean for once? Didn't Georgia just play a FCS
Georgia's got
team to
the
start
number
the
one strength
season?
of schedule
Didn't they? I don't
in
give a
the
damn
country.
because everybody's playing these soft ass teams.
Actually-
Didn't Georgia play an FCS team earlier this year?
Yeah,
that was their one. Yeah, that was their one soft
It's
game.
not
They
like
don't
they're
need
playing,
two
it's not
of
like
them.
they're going to play Penn State every week or these crappy Big Ten
Okay,
teams.
what are you talking about?
They gotta
Penn
play real
State is
teams
good. What are you
week after
real
week.
teams week after week? What are you talking
It's
about?
tough, man. It's tough out here in
It's
the
not
SEC.
that damn tough in the
Greg
SEC.
Sankey, the
Stop it.
commissioner
I
of the
don't care what
SEC,
Greg
I
Sankey
don't know.
says.
I would say, like, if you want these,
esteemed
if you want some
commissioner
of
of
these
the-
teams to play like good teams every week, like that's cool. But complaining about Georgia when they do have the toughest strength of schedule in the country, like
have
not,
the toughest strength of schedule compared to everybody else because Indiana's running out here playing Western Illinois. Of course,
It's
you're
not
going to have
just
a tougher
Georgia.
schedule.
Greg
Yeah.
Sankey, the esteemed commissioner of the SEC, earlier today on
I would complain more about
on
Indiana
Twitter,
not playing people,
pointed
not
out,
Georgia.
Pointed out that the top 6 teams in the country by strength of schedule ranking are all SEC programs. Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Texas. BYU is after that, and then Penn State's after that. But I think like these teams, Georgia, Tennessee, let them play a crappy team every once in a while. It's like getting to play Purdue.
First of all,
Hold on. Don't you guys get to play Mississippi State? What are we talking about
Not every
here?
year. Not every
Okay,
year.
well, not every year Penn State gets to play Purdue. What are we doing?
you've played Vanderbilt every year for the last
I'm saying.
3 decades.
You don't want them this year,
Well, I'm just saying, the last 3 decades,
okay?
not this year.
Not this year.
Yeah, you want
They
Mississippi
beat
State.
Alabama this year. Like you
You
don't
want
want them this year.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
You want those teams. You want Arkansas. You
I
want
just-
those
The
teams.
bottom line is dump the FCS school. I don't even mind them playing UMass. Dump the FCS school. Play a legitimate program.
Who would you prefer they
Bowling Green.
play? All right. We played Kent State last year. Is
Kent
that good
State,
enough?
that's
Yeah.
fine.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's not
You don't like them helping out these smaller
Cavalry
programs.
Christian.
They're going to win either way.
Well, if you're going to help out the smaller programs, just give them the money.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, no.
And they're beating
give
their
'em-
ass.
Give them. That's like a homeless person being like, "Hey, CJ, you got $1 on you? Yeah, let me punch you in the face. Let's go." Right? Like if you're gonna help, just help them.
I don't know if it's just like
give
that.
No, it's exactly like that.
Just
It is
like
just
that.
like that.
Exactly like
give them
that.
the money. You're at SEC school. You got the money.
I
Just
don't
give
know.
it to them.
I feel like you're allowed to play a bad team every once in a while.
Yeah.
I think it just is what it is. Like whatever. Until like the SEC and the Big Ten and maybe a couple other schools all merge together to form their own league. Like that's just what it is.
Can SEC get one more conference game?
Yeah, how do they play? 8?
No, play 9.
9?
No. Do they play 9? I'm pretty sure they play 8.
I think this is the first
they
year
play
played.
8.
Is it 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to get it up to 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Well, it should be.
Was the talk.
If you're playing 12 games, you should give it up to. Yeah, they should be playing 10.
Yeah.
That should seem very basic. They should be playing
Maybe
10
not though,
conference
because the way it works now, like you're getting penalized for the games you lose.
Right.
Who's getting
If you're
penalized
gonna
for
get
games
penal- if-
losing?
All
Yeah.
the SEC teams are.
Yeah, because you got teams out here. We're talking about how sorry Kentucky and Arkansas are, and we got SEC
They're
teams
not
out
sorry,
here.
they're good.
We got SEC teams out here losing to a 3-6 Kentucky team. How's Kentucky good all of a sudden?
They're better than like half the teams in the Big Ten. I'd say.
Okay, well, that's fine, but you can't lose to Kentucky and then gripe about not being where you want to be. You lost to a bad team.
Yeah.
You lost to a bad Arkansas team. That's going to keep you out. Sorry.
I think here's the thing though. I think
No, it's just gonna matter. Like what if
Kentucky and
Ohio
Arkansas
State
are
beats
bad.
if Ohio State beats Indiana this weekend? Like what happens to Indiana?
Indiana's out.
Like yeah, we'll see. Like
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna find
Indiana's
out. Like
out.
they destroyed BYU for
They're
losing
fifth in the ranking. How can they fall that far?
because they didn't play anybody. They
hadn't
didn't beat anybody.
They hadn't beaten
They're in the
anybody.
Big Ten.
So they'll kill. They have. Go
they
look at
hadn't
their
played-
schedule.
Indiana,
understand-
Indiana
I
like
understand
Look at
the
it, like,
schedule,
yeah,
but
they're at the
in
mercy
big,
of
but
it.
they're in the Big Ten. They're in the Big Ten. There are 12 spots.
Indiana,
Yeah.
like Texas, hadn't played anybody in conference yet. Right? Like, and the one team Texas did play in conference, they lost to.
At
This
home.
stuff works
At
itself
home.
out.
So
I mean,
it'll figure itself out. I will say Indiana's the only team in the nation that's top 15 in scoring defense, total defense, points per game, and total offense. So
Indiana's
they're
played-
beating the
Indiana's
hell out of
played
people.
one team with a winning record all year.
And that's
It
Washington,
was
right?
6-5, Washington.
Yeah. Like that's you lose and you're out at that
yeah,
point
I
if
would
you're
say
Indiana.
they need to.
But if they win, don't they get a home game?
Like this
If
stuff
they
will
beat
just
Ohio State, I guess you get a home game.
yeah, like this stuff will just. The other question is what happens to Ohio State
Right now, Penn State has a home
if
game.
Indiana beats them?
If they win
Now
out,
it's 2 losses.
Notre Dame
Where-
and
how
Penn
far do
State
they
have
fall?
home games if they win
If
out.
Indiana wins out and loses to Oregon in the Big Ten championship game,
So they don't
we'll
win
say.
out.
So they win out in the regular season and then they lose to Oregon. If they win out,
They'll
they
be
get a
in.
bye. But if they win out regular season, lose to Oregon in the championship game,
Which means they beat Ohio State along the way, right?
yeah, I'm not. I guess Indiana would get a home game.
Yeah, Indiana. If Indiana wins out and beats Oregon,
No, not beat Oregon. Not
Oh,
beat,
I was
loses
like, they'll
to
be
Oregon.
number
If
one
they
or number 2.
If they win the regular season, win out the regular season, win their last 2 games, Ohio State and Purdue, and then lose to Oregon.
No,
in the
I don't think they
championship
get a
game.
bye.
You don't think they
I
home
don't think
game
they get
Roser,
a
a
bye.
home game Roser?
Oh.
Do they get a home game Roser?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Because
guess.
I think
sure.
that's the gripe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lane.
Yeah.
You seem more connected to the
What I saw
SEC
was
side
that-
of it, but I think that's the gripe from SEC
If Notre Dame,
fandom.
if Notre Dame
is-
and Penn State win out, they both get home
this
games.
stuff will all work itself out if it all works itself out. Like
but
BYU
it doesn't. Wait, no,
Here's
it
the
doesn't work
deal.
itself
But Penn
out.
State
That's
getting
why
a
we
home
got the
game-
12 teams.
Penn State
Yeah.
getting a home game when they had one good opponent and they lost this year, like that doesn't feel fair to me.
This is stupid. It's stupid. When we were at 4, it always seemed to work itself out until
did
last
last year.
year.
Until last
when
year.
Florida
When Georgia
State
got
was
screwed.
left out.
I actually think it
It
worked
didn't
itself
always
out
work
last year.
It didn't always work itself out. Do we not remember the TCU Baylor year when all of a sudden they said, you know what,
Right.
we've had these 2 teams ahead of Ohio State the entire time. F it, Ohio State is in because we don't want to meddle with the
But when
Big
that's
Ten-
been the
Big 12.
case, it's gone on, and then it's been like, oh, okay, they did get it right because TCU then went on and got the win, and then they
Got
go to
crushed.
the championship, and then they got crushed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Ohio State championship year when Ohio State should not have been in the field.
Right.
Yeah.
It should have been
But
TCU
they go
or
get
Baylor.
the championship, and you're like, well, see, we got it right. They should have been.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, there are 12 teams.
Yeah.
I don't give a crap about number 13. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you're not in the 12, you're not going to win the
Well,
championship
and like
anyway.
we're automatically
what's the whole deal?
assuming that these
How do
teams
we
are
know?
just that this is like
Because
we're
Yeah, but if Ole Miss
automatically.
is the 12 team.
they're not going to be.
But it's just like
13.
Right
but
now
we're
they are.
also sitting here assuming that like Ole Miss and Alabama and Tennessee won't take another loss and that they're just going to get screwed. Like Ole Miss needs to worry about Florida and Tennessee better worry about Vanderbilt. And I don't give a damn what you say. Alabama better watch out for Auburn. That freaking game's weird. And Kalen DeBoer's first Iron Bowl, man, they better watch out.
Yeah.
Crazy things happen in those games. And Ohio State better be worried about Michigan. And they better be worried about Indiana.
Calm down a little bit.
Yeah, Michigan
just
sucks.
a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit.
Michigan sucks.
You want to get a stat I saw?
Ryan Day's worried about Michigan because it's his job if he loses that
I got a
one.
nugget. Kirby Smart has beaten more top 10 teams in the last calendar year than James Franklin has beaten in his entire life.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
But let's give him a home game. Go ahead. Let him have a home game.
Give them a home game.
Get out of here.
So your thing is you want Georgia to have a home game.
Well, I just don't want Penn State to have one.
Okay. Is there
That's
anybody
fair.
else who shouldn't have a home
Notre
game?
Dame shouldn't either.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see the Notre Dame. You lost to who?
NIU.
Which
Northern
Illinois
Illinois.
team?
Northern.
Northern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
They haven't played a true road
I
game.
think that's
since
fair.
week
You lose
3.
at home to Northern Illinois, like you don't. You're not getting a home game.
All right. Let's take a break.
This is why they do what they do, though. So we sit here and debate it.
By the way, you know
They
there's
know their
Absolutely.
rankings suck and are stupid and don't make sense. Like they know
But
that.
either way you do it, people are going to be upset because you're going to tell me, an Indiana fan, that hey, you're undefeated. It doesn't matter. We're going to move these.
Fewer people will be upset because fewer people care about Indiana football.
You're a Notre Dame fan, and you're going to tell me Notre Dame can't host a home game. A Notre Dame team
Yeah.
that beat
I'll tell you that.
a quality Texas A&M team, a quality Navy, and potentially a quality Army team. They don't get to host.
Yeah, they
a
lost to
game.
Northern Illinois.
I'll tell
What
them
are you
that.
talking about? Kentucky went out here and skull drug Ole Miss at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss
I'm
doesn't have
not
a home
fighting
game.
for Ole Miss.
Who
What
are you
have I
fighting
banged
for?
a drum for
Who
Ole
are you
Miss?
fighting bang for then?
I haven't banged a drum for Ole
Okay,
Miss.
who are you banging the drum for?
I haven't banged the drum for anybody,
so you're just throwing
actually.
this out there
Is
saying,
banging the
hey,
drum
these
a
teams
euphemism?
don't
Yeah,
serve.
like, I haven't
don't
really
get a
banged the
home
drum
game.
for any of these teams.
Okay.
He doesn't want to work. He wants to bang on his drum all day.
Yeah,
I
bang the
drummer-
drum slowly.
little
Isn't
I
that
don't think
boy
anyone's
Roser
here.
over here.
Nobody's here saying Ole Miss should have a home game.
Who should have the
Yeah,
home
I
games
didn't say
then?
Ole Miss should have a home
The
game.
best teams.
Okay, so who are the best teams then? Who
Not
deserve
Penn
home?
State, not
no,
Notre
no,
Dame.
no, no, no,
And I'll tell you
not,
this. I'll tell you
Tell
this.
me who
I
it is,
signed up for
Lane.
this Blue Sky because everybody's like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
great new social
Yeah.
media platform. People have been ripping me on there all day about
What?
the college football stuff from the conversation CJ
No, it's
and I
not a
had
safe space
on
for
the
you.
Jessica Benson show 2 days ago. 2 days ago, and now people are after me. I said on there, we should take this new Elon Musk computer in South Memphis. Let's put that thing in charge of picking the best college football teams.
Oh,
Did
they
that
don't
with
like
the
that.
BCS,
No,
and
they
it didn't
mention that,
work.
but that's, I
Okay.
think that's a good idea.
It's very simple how you get the best
I
12
texted you
teams.
the other day.
I know, and that's the number one way,
I
but
said,
it's retired.
let's bring back the fish scales and see how the fish scales would rank these teams
Yeah.
for the college football playoffs.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't get an
exactly
answer.
that's exactly what should have happened, but we're in negotiations. There's
With whom?
fish scales people. So there's one easy way to do it. The people in Las Vegas are the ones that should rank the teams.
No, they shouldn't. No, because the people in Las Vegas told me Tennessee was a 14-point favorite against Arkansas, and then what happened? They told me Ole Miss was a 7.5-point favorite against Kentucky, and then what happened? No, they shouldn't.
They know more than the people, I believe.
Which people?
The committee people.
Somebody in the chat asked if Indiana loses, do they still make the conference championship game? I don't know.
No, because they would lose to Ohio State. And one-loss Ohio State with a win over Indiana, they will win the head-to-head. Ohio State goes.
The Sagarin predictor ratings would tell you these would be the number one team in the country is Alabama.
Oh, for crying out loud.
The number 2 team in the country is Texas. 3 is Ole Miss. 4 is Georgia. 5 is Ohio State. 6 is Notre Dame. Oregon is 7. Penn State 8. Tennessee
Ohio
is
State's ahead of
9.
Oregon.
10th is South Carolina.
You didn't catch Alabama ahead of
Oh, I
Georgia?
did. I mean, they beat Georgia.
Oh, wait. Texas ahead of Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
fine.
All right.
whatever.
But they're not like big numbers. So like dead serious. So like the point spread between Alabama and Texas, it would be Alabama minus a half point. Like it's not on a neutral field. It's Alabama minus a half point. Like it's not. These teams are not separated by a ton. Like Oregon's number. Oregon and Alabama. Alabama would be favored by looks like 3. Like it's not. You know, when it's like, oh my God, Alabama would be favored by Oregon. Like it's not like to be favored by 9. You know, it's 3 points. It's typically in 3-point games. Like anything happens.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We're going to look at some of the SEC games and trends, and also that Indiana game against Ohio State. We'll look at some of the trends there as well and discuss more here on The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
We're going to need, the Forum rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane 3, yes sir! Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC. Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
If I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everybody. It's The Odds Couple. It is Chapter 6, Week 13 of the program. Glad you were with us, talking some college football. Got a big weekend coming up. We'll talk some Shield as well. Fish Nuggets. We got our top 5 today, and free picks before we get out of here today. Some games in the SEC this weekend include Ole Miss at Florida. Ole Miss, a 10-point favorite. At the Gators, the total at 55.5. Ole Miss 9-3 against the spread their last 12 games. 11 of their last 14 on the road have gone under. Florida, meanwhile, 16-23 against the spread their last 39. 7-13 against the spread at home. Head-to-head, Ole Miss has covered 5 of the last 7 meetings between the Rebels and the Gators. Ole Miss minus 10.5. Florida showed a little spark here recently, right?
I like Florida.
Do you?
I like them. I'd take them in this one. Give me the points. They got Lagway's playing. Napier's got him going. The running back, the freshman, I can't remember his name, Ball, something like that. He's been playing really well. They have the receiver now, Badger. He's been playing great.
Great name.
Yeah, they're moving the ball. Like I feel like they turned a corner. Like they could have gone the other way and they didn't.
What'd you want to call him, the Swamp Badger?
Swamp Badger.
Yeah.
Must be a good name for him,
Yeah.
right?
Wait,
The wide receiver they have.
what color is this guy again?
I don't see color. I see people and ideas.
Because I think there's.
Why is that funny?
I think there's a different name floating around for this guy. If it's the guy I think it is.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'll double check that. But
You're not talking about the LSU linebacker, the white guy?
okay, is he
He's
a
the honky
Badger?
badger.
There we go. Thank
Yeah.
you for saying that.
The
I didn't know
honky
if I
badger?
could say that.
Oh,
That's
you can
y'all's
say
word.
honky.
I don't know if I
wrong
can
with
say that or
that?
not.
No, that's the white dude on LSU. The
There we
leading
go.
tackler, Will somebody.
So one is a Swamp Badger, and the one in LSU
The
is
LSU guy's named like Jamal or something like that. I can't remember his
Okay.
first name. Starts with a J.
Wait, it's a white Jamal?
No, it's a
Oh.
black dude.
Okay.
The LSU guy.
So wait, why are we calling him a honky then?
We're not. We're calling the white guy on LSU.
So
Honky Badger.
so that's the guy I'm
The
talking
guy
about.
in Florida plays in the swamp, and I was
So
like, we
he's
should call him the Swamp
so
Badger.
we got a Swamp Badger and a H-word Badger.
Yeah.
Got you. Cool.
It's a honky badger.
Hey, listen,
can
that's
say
y'all's word. I don't know if I can say that.
Ole Miss minus-
when it's in the rap songs, Roger, I don't say
give
that.
you permission. You
Okay,
can
thank
say
you.
it.
We
You're fine.
We spent all day respecting the word.
Yeah,
place
like,
change.
yeah.
Everybody-
I don't. That's not
everybody's a little-
disrespectful to
everybody's a
me.
little-
You don't have to worry about me going to HR. You ain't got to worry about that.
We'll just broadcast it.
Yeah.
Straight into the
Hey, as
office.
y'all find out, they don't listen anyway. So
That's true.
they think us wearing all black is a normal thing for Thursday.
Today's show should be called They Don't Listen to
They don't listen anyway.
Oh, I thought you guys were going to say call it Honky Badger. That's what I was leaning towards.
You can't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Man.
Roser, Ole Miss minus 10.
Park it. I'm not touching it.
No?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Ole Miss needs to worry about Mississippi State. I think they're going to kick the crap out of them. I think the Egg Bowl is one of those, like, both teams play crazy hard.
Yeah.
It's just a rivalry game. Anything can happen, but I don't think that's happening with this Mississippi
I don't
State
either.
team. I think Ole Miss is going to kill them.
I think Ole Miss.
I lean Florida here, but I also don't really care about that LSU team. But Ole Miss lost to that LSU team, so yeah, I'd lean Florida if I had to take it, but I'd park it. I don't really want to touch it.
All right. CJ?
Florida feels a bit different. One of us, we did the hot seats in the SEC, and one of us on this show said Billy Napier, Billy Napier, Billy Napier, Billy Napier,
Yeah.
Billy Napier. And I'm close.
And then
He
you got an
wins-
extension.
Yeah, he wins this game. I might issue an apology to that man, right? Like he's
Oh, wow.
he's
A formal apology?
a formal apology. Yeah, like he's
CJ apologizing.
the games, that they've played, they
It's like
hadn't
an HR
been they hadn't been getting drugged, right? Like the loss to Tennessee wasn't an ass whooping. Tennessee had to fight for that 3-point win. They get the big win over LSU this past weekend.
The Georgia game was close.
The Georgia game was close until Georgia pulled away there late.
Texas gave an ass whooping.
Texas beat the hell out of them, but I expected everybody to beat the hell out of them. So for them to be in these games and then to get the win over the team that they're not supposed to beat in LSU, that's real impressive. I like the way this Florida team is playing right now. I think Lagway is going to be
good.
He's going to be like an SEC superstar
If he sticks around a couple years.
So I would take Florida plus the 10. And I might look into Florida straight up. Rosa points this out all the time. Ole Miss will lose these types of games. They'll have the whole season in front of them. Yeah. Hey, just beat the teams you're supposed to beat and then lose in inexplicable fashion to teams that they're better than.
Kentucky.
But since then, I think we've said that a couple of times about Ole Miss, and it hasn't happened.
Well, they lost to LSU. They shouldn't have lost to LSU.
I mean, the game in South Carolina.
They beat Georgia. That was the game that we all thought Ole Miss would
they killed that
up.
South Carolina win. What they did to South Carolina looks better and better as the season goes on.
And because there is still so much in front of them, I believe that Ole Miss will give us their best effort. And I think Ole Miss, they're a better team than Florida. I like Ole Miss. I'll even lay the 10. 17-point win, Ole Miss, 34-17. They cover
you like the Rebels.
It goes under. Yep, going with the Rebels.
The one thing we didn't talk about when we talked about the playoff stuff is that there's going to be, more likely, there are multiple 2-loss SEC teams, and there's going to be a 2-loss SEC team that should be in the playoff, and they're going to go to that conference championship game. And if they lose to Texas or Texas A&M, because it's seemingly going to be Texas A&M better watch out. We'll get to them too. They better watch out this weekend. That third loss could knock them out. Now the committee has said that tells us a lot.
The committee's
full
of crap.
The committee's totally full of crap. They're totally full of crap. It means a lot that you made that conference championship game. Well, like whoever makes it, if the 2-loss team, they make it because of a tiebreaker. They don't make it because they're just better than the other 2-loss teams. They make it because of a tiebreaker. That there are SEC teams. I talked to a coach on the Ole Miss who's on the Ole Miss staff last weekend. Talked to him because they were off, and said that they've openly have had the discussions that it might be better to just not make
Lane
the
Kiffin
SEC.
talked about it this week.
They'd rather just not do it.
Well, because look at last year. Georgia makes the conference championship game undefeated.
Loses.
Number 1, they lose, and they get dropped down to 6.
Yeah.
So they only lost by 3 in that championship game to an Alabama team, a good team, and they get dropped down to 6. So, like, if you're one of these other teams, you look at it, you're like, well, why would I want to take this chance? I don't even know if you're allowed to opt out of the SEC championship game. But I'd try it if I'm one of these teams. If I'm Tennessee, if I'm Ole Miss, you got to play.
This has got to change. I mean, because you can't get rid of these conference championship games.
It's the committee that's got to change.
So,
They're the ones who punished Georgia so badly for losing that game.
Oh, wait. Who should Georgia have been in over, Lane?
Who was the 4th team in?
So it was Michigan, Texas, I guess
Bama.
Washington. It was
Washington.
So you would put them in over Washington.
I would.
Okay.
I mean, look, and then Georgia beat the crap out of Florida State.
Florida State didn't play anybody. That doesn't matter.
Neither did Georgia. Georgia had 12
okay,
guys
that's fine.
opt
It
out
doesn't
of
matter.
that game.
That Florida State win doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, Lane. You know Florida State, half Florida State's team sat out. Okay.
And
that game doesn't matter, though.
Too. Look at them now.
What? Have y'all been, like, arguing, like, all day?
It's been a long week, man.
Did this start before the show in there, Fish?
I got shot in the mouth this morning at 7:30
I didn't shoot you in the mouth.
Pause.
No.
That is
He did get a shot in the mouth.
I got a shot in the mouth.
You're
at
the one
7:30 in the
being
morning.
weird, making the shot sexual. Sometimes dudes get shot in the mouth. It's okay.
I think like
It's like 50 Cent.
the committee's got to change because like if you're going to punish a team that badly, or just say like, look, we're not going to count those in as part of your record. We're not going to count conference championship games.
Yeah.
Or because
that's just good. I mean,
it
makes sense, but it just
sort of,
it's so
sort of
hard.
does, yeah.
It's so hard. I think human nature to
just discount it.
Discount
but also, if you're
things
looking
like
at it,
that.
and if for the team that wins, it's hard to discount it for them too, right?
Sure,
Because if you're like, if you're Ohio State,
I take total blame for bringing this back up. By the way.
Well,
no, it's fine. This is college football right now. This is like you can't talk about college football without talking about this crap.
I mean, are we even close because of how the divisions are, or with no divisions, how screwed up that has made these tiebreakers.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, the whole Oregon fiasco, not knowing that they were in the championship game for 2 days until they figured it out. Are we closer to a conference
No, it's
four
too much.
semifinal and a final?
Listen, if you're going to have Mercer on your schedule, get them the hell up out of here and let's find a way to make a conference semifinal work.
I mean, I liked it the COVID year when the SEC schedule was just 10 SEC or 8. You only played SEC games. And then at the end of the year, that was it. Like, if you do that, get rid of all these FCS teams and these other little ones, and you play a 9-game, 10-game SEC schedule, and then you have a Final Four and a Final Two. There's your 12 games to get you, for the teams that are good enough, and then playoffs start.
Yeah. And then all the other teams that played 10 games, what are you going to do?
Find a way.
Find somebody to play in those last 2 weeks.
Find a way to schedule those conference games accordingly.
Yeah.
Say, okay, you didn't make it to the
It's
conference
like the in-season tournament.
semifinals.
You just get a game added.
Lang, that's it. Roser. Here I am agreeing with Lang. Lang, that's a great point right
Thank
there.
you.
The games get added. You get one home, one away. I like that, Lang.
Roser said A&M better watch it. They're a 2.5-point favorite at Auburn this week. A&M 8-1 against the spread on the road against teams with a losing home record. Auburn 3-18 straight up their last 21 as an underdog. Head-to-head, Texas A&M's covered 4 of the last 6 at Auburn, and the favorite has covered 6 of the last 7. A&M minus 2.5. Roser.
Yeah, it's more so just because, like, they could easily be just looking ahead to Texas. I'm not saying Auburn's good.
Right.
But, like, they could
What are you
just be
saying?
looking ahead to the Texas game. And if you do just get caught not caring, like, I think if they played again today, Ole Miss would probably kill Kentucky, but they didn't really take them seriously that 1 week, and Kentucky got them. I think if Alabama played Vandy again, I think Alabama would beat Vanderbilt by
What are we doing, Roser?
probably 2 touchdowns.
They played.
The point is, I'm telling you, they didn't take them serious. I don't think they took them serious. I'm saying Texas A&M, you could be looking ahead to Texas. So, like, you better take Auburn serious, or maybe they do pick you off.
It's wild that Auburn's only a 2.5-point dog.
2.5. A&M. I mean, this is a team that is on the path to
And Auburn's
be in the SEC
quarterback's
championship
hurt.
game.
like Peyton Thorne's out. Like, it's
Right.
like, I don't really understand why the line is that. That feels like that's one of the weird lines that we always
Yes.
look at.
Yes.
And when it's weird, we take it, right?
When it's weird, we go with Auburn. Ugh.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking. It looks like Auburn's the play. CJ?
I will go Texas A&M because I just think Auburn's so bad right now. But it is a weird line. What's over under 47.5?
Yep.
I think maybe Peyton Thorne is playing.
I might take the.
That
not
makes
I
me
might.
like
I
him
would.
less.
I would take the under also. So I would go Texas A&M and the under the 47.5.
Yeah, I'm going A&M in the under as well. I think it'll be a close game, though, because I'm still not a believer in Texas A&M. I got 24-21 A&M over Auburn, just covering barely against the Tigers. The other game in the SEC that's, I don't know if it's interesting. It's only an interesting line because we've kind of made it that way here recently, is the Vanderbilt Commodores. And they're a big dog against LSU, an LSU team that lost at home to Florida, or an LSU team that lost at Florida. They host Vanderbilt. LSU's got nothing to play for now. I mean, their season, they've lost 3 straight, all by double digits.
Does Vanderbilt have anything to play for?
Vanderbilt, every win is a celebration.
When the hell has Vanderbilt beat LSU,
And-
right? Like, that's the thing at Vanderbilt. You're playing these
For
games.
something every week.
Yeah, every week. You're like, yo, we
You
got to
can
break
make
this
history.
news.
It's
Yeah.
a night game at LSU.
I know. It's a night game at LSU.
But LSU just lost a night game at LSU.
That's true.
Yeah.
LSU's 15-5 against the spread as a home favorite. 7 of their last 9 have gone under. Vanderbilt 8-14 against the spread their last 22. 6-37 straight up against SEC teams on the road. And LSU's won 9 straight against Vanderbilt by over 28 points per game.
By the way, I don't know if you can hear it, but John Roser is doing work on his giant computer.
Yeah, I am.
The table is shaking.
5 of the last 6 between the two teams under. LSU Vanderbilt, Lang. Pick it, park it.
I feel like Vanderbilt sort of lost some of the magic. Doesn't it feel like that? Like they were kind
little
of fun. They were spunky the first, we're betting them. They're doing good. Now it just feels like they're kind of like, just getting through the season. Pavia sued the NCAA to stay another year and lost. Like I don't know. It feels like they had their moment and it's kind of, But I don't think LSU's playing for much either. The one thing I did read a story this week about Nussmeier, their quarterback, and they were talking about how he's like the next of the next group of quarterbacks that are going to be pro prospects, he might be like the leading guy, but he just needs more reps. He's only started something like 9-10 games in his career. So like maybe at some point it clicks for him and LSU jumps to another level. I would probably just not pick this one. 8 points is too much to me to bank on Vandy to make that up.
Yeah. Roser?
Whatever. Take Vandy. Who are they playing? I'm sorry, I'm out of it.
LSU.
LSU. Dude, I'm not touching that game. You're going to be out of your mind. Why are we talking about LSU right now?
And Vanderbilt.
They need to be talking about
It's a
saving
big
their
matchup
coach's
of the
job
week.
right now.
CJ?
LSU's.
I think that's what LSU was playing for. I couldn't make out which one of you guys brought up playing for Brian Kelly's job, but I think he knows that the pressure is on. I feel like he's going to come out and coach them young men up. So I'll take LSU minus 7.5. They've got more talent than Vanderbilt, and I think that Kelly is a better coach than Clark Lee. Vanderbilt had the close loss to Texas. They had the 3-game winning streak, which included a win over Alabama. They lose to Texas 27-24 at home. They beat Auburn, I do believe, on the road, and then they get smacked by South Carolina, and then they have the bye. And I think that's why some of the energy and the fervor around Vanderbilt is dying down some. Vanderbilt also has a big game next week against Tennessee. And if you can't get in, you'd want to keep your rival out. And a loss to Vanderbilt will absolutely keep Tennessee out of the CFP. And I fear that they may be looking ahead to that game.
I got LSU. I got LSU winning the game by 10. So I'm taking LSU to cover against Vanderbilt. Yeah, it's
a big over under 53.
Both 54.5, or is it 53 now?
53.5 right now.
Yeah, I think the under is a pretty good play as well. 5 of the last 6 between these two teams have gone under as well. And then we have the big game, Ohio State and Indiana. Ohio State a 13.5 point favorite against Indiana. The total at 51.5. 13.5.
I know.
Indiana's ranked 5th in the country. 13.5. Indiana is 8-1 against the spread their last 9 games. Ohio State has won 25 straight against Indiana. 6 of the last 7 meetings have gone over, and Indiana has covered 6 of the last 7 at Ohio State. So the trends sneakily leaning towards Indiana covering the 13.5. 13.5, Lang, that's way too many.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts in this game, but I have a pick on this game.
Oh, okay.
Which means I will need to get the camera on me, Jacob, and then I will sit this out.
It's one Pat, not Jacob today.
Whoever it is. Who is it?
Abigail.
Abigail, sorry.
Roser.
What's up, Abigail? I don't have a pick on this game, so I'm going to go ahead and say I have no idea what to think. Part of me thinks Ohio State's going to beat the crap out of them. The other part of me thinks Cignetti's really freaking good, and this is going to be 2 touchdowns. It's going to be way too many here. But I'm going to go with my first inclination. I'm going to bank that Ohio State can handle this, that they're going to show up, and I'm going to lay the points. And I hate that. I hate that.
All right.
I hate doing it,
CJ?
but I'm going to do it.
I will never, ever, ever bet on Ohio State. So this will be one that I park. But
So that means you think Ohio State's going to win?
yeah, give me that Indiana versus Ohio State against the spread again.
Indiana 6-1 against the spread at Ohio State.
Yeah, those spreads are ridiculous, though. Typically speaking, there's a reason why they can cover those, because it's usually Ohio State favored by 24, 25, 30 or something like that. Like Indiana, I've seen Big Ten football all of my life. This is the first time I've seen this from a Indiana team. I think 13.5 is a bit too low. I like the Indiana story. It's fun to see one of these nobody teams get up there and be good for a change. But, they're not that good. They hadn't played anybody. Lang, you brought it up. They played one team with a winning record, and that's 6-5. Yeah. So they barely beat a Michigan team that can't complete a forward pass. And so I think Ohio State has the athletes to go out there and just blow by Indiana. I think they could potentially win by 4 or 5 scores when it's all said and done.
I'll take the points with Indiana. I think they keep it close. I know they haven't beaten anyone in particular, but they have blasted everybody. So I don't think that's as big of a factor as what people think. I believe Ohio State's going to win the game, but I think Indiana will have a chance to win the game late in the fourth quarter. So I think it'll be a close, fun game. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back, and we got some NFL matchups and some fish nuggets when we return. This is the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Can't even wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Back to Jared for the flash.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bain three. Yes, sir. Desmond Bain with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
If I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. Glad you're with us. Getting you set for the weekend in college football and the National Football League. Going to look at a couple of games out of the NFL right now, as there are a few games that are of interest, including tonight, as the NFL weekend gets underway with Thursday Night Football. The Pittsburgh Steelers at Cleveland to take on the Browns.
The over-under is 36.
Yeah. Over under 36, Pittsburgh favored by 3.5. The Steelers are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games. Cleveland 3-9 against the spread their last 12. Pittsburgh's covered 7 of the last 10 against the Browns.
You know the perfect presentation for this game is putting it on Amazon Prime and having Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit call it.
Yep.
That's it. That's perfect for this game. Because those guys, they clearly are just cashing the checks. At this point, they're just they have zero excitement from doing those games. And on Amazon Prime, it's hard to find it. You can't even get there half the time. It's trying to show you next-gen stats and all this junk. But the games aren't very good. This is the perfect Pittsburgh at Cleveland game. But I picked up the Steelers defense in my fantasy league today. So I figure this is a night they might pitch a shutout or at least no touchdowns.
Yeah. All right. You picking
up? I'll take Pittsburgh -3.
Yeah. Roser?
What's the line again?
Pittsburgh -3.5. Over under 36.5.
No.
Nothing.
You trust Jameis like that?
No, it's just I don't. Short week, division game. I'd lean the Browns, but I don't trust any of it. I wouldn't touch it.
CJ?
I'm with Roser on leaning Browns. It's short. To Roser's point, short week. Pittsburgh coming off a really emotional win against the Ravens. Pittsburgh is an ugly ass team. The Browns are an ugly ass team.
Browns are having some like stuff going on behind the scenes though. With like Mike Vrabel's been hanging around, and like now there's questions about if is he going to be the coach or not. Like I don't know. It feels like there's a lot of like turmoil there.
It's weird, when you're a bad team, it's turmoil every week.
When you give $200 million to Deshaun Watson
to a known sexual assaulter, probable racist allegedly, so we don't get sued by Deshaun. Like that's what you get. I'm gonna take the Browns plus the 3.5. I think the Steelers win close, ugly game by a field goal or less, and that's the 3.5. And I'll take the under also. I don't think it's gonna be a whole lot of scoring done in this game.
Yeah, I like the Steelers in this game. I think the Steelers will win 3.5. I'll go ahead and give it.
I think they win by a touchdown.
So, absolutely. So that's
they
why
might not score a touchdown.
They might not score a touchdown.
Will.
I know. That's the first thing I was thinking of when you were talking about when you said win by a field goal. I started thinking, hell, that might be the only way they score. So
they've won.
That's what happened last week.
They've won 2 games this year without scoring touchdowns. Beat the Falcons. Beat the Ravens. Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, Minnesota Vikings are in Chicago to take on the Bears. Minnesota 3.5-point favorite over the Bears. 39.5 the total in this one. Minnesota 7-3 against the spread their last 10. They've won 5 of their last 6 against Chicago. 4-1 against the spread at Chicago. And Chicago, however, is 8-1 against the spread their last 9 home games. Chicago has had 2 since the Hail Mary. They haven't been very good. And then last week, another just heartbreaker. I mean, they've had 2 heartbreaking losses that it feels like it's the tipping point that I don't know. I think it's tough, but they've been very good at home. I'll take the points. I'll go with Chicago. Yeah, covering.
Oh, well, yeah. They lost their last 2 games at home. 19-3 in 2019. Last week was closer. But yeah. I don't know.
In some weeks I love Caleb, and some weeks I
don't. Yeah. I'm not a fan.
I don't.
I'll stay away from that one. I think Minnesota would win that. I mean, if anything, I'd bet Minnesota. I think they win by more than 3.5.
Yeah, Roser.
Despite
there we go.
Despite Sam Darnold having loser DNA, as my Vikings friend said.
Yeah.
So glad the camera's on me now, so I can say this. I've got a pick on this game.
Typing on that giant computer.
So I'm gonna sit it out.
You gotta sit it out. Okay.
Let's sit this one out.
All right, CJ.
It's a division game. It's on the road for the Vikings. I think they win, but I think it'll be closer than the 3. I will take the Bears plus the 3.
I'm gonna go Bears straight up. Actually, how about that?
I was leaning Bears straight up. Eventually, they got to win one of these. They got to just back their way into one of these close wins. And to Lang's point, Rose, I'm agreeing with Lang again. Or Lang's friend, Darnold doesn't have that winner DNA in him. So I will take the plus the 3, but I like that Bears straight up. Right?
Yeah. All right. And then Green Bay, 2-point favorite against San Francisco. The total is 47.5. Green Bay 11-1 against the spread, taking on NFC West opponents. San Francisco 2-9 against the spread, their last 11 on Sunday. And San Francisco, however, is 6-2 against the spread as an underdog. Green Bay favored by 2. Roser.
What about it?
What do you think of your team this week against Green Bay?
I don't think anything of them. Pray Jordan Love throws a pick at the end of the game or something. Pray it's close and Jordan Love will screw it up or something. Like, he throws picks. It's what he does. He's thrown a pick in 8 straight games. He's thrown a pick in every game he's played this year, so hopefully he continues that streak and throws a couple of them. Neither one of these teams are good in the red zone. I think 27th and 28th is where they rank in red zone efficiency. So, the Seahawks were ready last week. They had the week off to prepare. Our offense was god-awful. It's just been one of those years so far. But a couple years ago, we were 5-5 through 10 games and made the NFC Championship game. So, maybe it can happen again.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of season left. But at Green Bay, at Buffalo, we'll see. I don't really have a whole lot of faith in them right now.
All right. CJ, Pickett.
I'll take the Packers minus the 2. I think that the wheels are about to fall off this 49ers thing.
Yeah.
For this season, and maybe they get it back next year. But we'll see.
I'd take the Packers too.
Yeah, I'm taking the Packers as well. I'm taking the Packers minus the 2. And it sounds like what Roser said. It sounds like that's the right pick. And just hope Jordan Love doesn't throw picks at the end.
George Kittle playing will matter. Hopefully. I mean, he should matter a lot, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Debo's been the one that's like, might be time.
Yeah. All right. How about some Nuggets?
time to put
You'll
him
be
down.
happy to know, CJ, though, that Nick Bosa, before he went out with
Is Nick
another
Bosa
hip
playing?
injury last week, no. I
Okay.
think he's out for a
He
couple
hurt
of
his
weeks.
hip doing the dance.
Which that matters a ton. When Bosa was on the field last week, the Seahawks had like 84 yards and averaged 3 yards of play. And when Bosa left,
Who's the Seahawks quarterback?
Geno Smith, he had 2 sacks.
Oh, yeah, I know he did.
Against Geno Smith. So when Bosa went out,
Bosa with 3
the
Ks.
Seahawks had like 187 yards and averaged 6 yards of play with Bosa off the field. So
Wow.
I don't think Bosa's playing.
All right, Nuggets.
No.
All right, let's check out the Friday Night Dogs, how they're doing. Now 24-14 against the spread on the Friday Night Dogs. Here are your Friday Night Dogs. Temple, 16.5-point dog at UTSA. Purdue, 13.5 at Michigan State. And San Jose State at home against UNLV. Maybe a home dog there in San Jose State, just saying.
All right.
All right. Nugget number 2. The Lions are Super Bowl favorites for the first time in NFL history.
Wow.
Their preseason odds were plus 1,300. Their current odds are plus 340. First time in NFL history that they are Super Bowl favorites.
And they've been around since the NFL.
Yeah, they're like one of the original
Yeah, like
six, right?
this isn't the Jaguars, the Panthers, the Colts, one of these newfangled teams, Falcons, right? Like the Lions have been around since the NFL. Gosh, they've been a terrible franchise.
Yes. All right, next. All 4 FBS teams with the name Owls, they fired their coaches.
What?
Rice, Temple, Kennesaw State, FAU are all Owls. All their coaches have been fired.
Lane, were you the one telling me about Ray Lewis going to FAU?
It's not, but that's funny you mentioned that because I saw it literally about an hour ago. Saw this story about that on ESPN. Now I can't find it because it's funny because there was talk about Ray Lewis replacing Tom Herman and apparently I think Adam Schefter reported that he was a candidate.
Was he in the throes of passion?
It says the story. Here's the headline now. The way the story is written, Ray Lewis offered as unlikely candidate at FAU. Sources say. So like, why is it a report that he's an unlikely candidate? It's just telling us he's not being hired as coach. Feels like somebody at the school is like, no, there's no way we're hiring this guy. But the story says Ray Lewis has been floated as a candidate. Sources told Adam Schefter Lewis had emerged as a candidate. Other sources told ESPN FAU is focused on other candidates at this time. And then it says Lewis was a 2-time Super Bowl champion, 7-time first-team All-Pro. He entered the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2018. He retired in 2012. Seems like they're leaving out
a little something?
Something from his career, life. I don't know.
His collegiate success?
A few things.
Oh, okay.
And also, he didn't play it. He went to Miami, right? Like he didn't play at FAU. What's the connection there?
That area, that part of Florida.
Okay.
No. Next nugget. No. Mississippi State. They are not good as a home dog. 2-13 against the spread as a home dog. They're an 8-point home dog against Missouri this week. Take the Tigers.
Speaking of Missouri, I saw an NFL mock draft. They had Luther Burden, the 4th or 5th player in the draft.
Oh, really?
Dude, he's going to go
feels kind of high, right?
You know, he's going to go. I mean, he may not go like top 5, but he's going to go like top half of the first round.
He was averaging like 93 yards per game. I think he ended up with 8 or 9 touchdowns last season. And this year, he's right around 50 yards per game and got like 3 or 4 touchdowns on the year. That drop off for me is curious because you bring Burden back, you bring Cook back. You would think that that's the connection that you can roll with if you're who's up there. That's not Drinkwitz, is it?
Yeah, it's Drinkwitz.
It's Drinkwitz. If you're Drinkwitz, that's the game plan, and they just have not looked near as good as they did last year.
They had a really good running back last year. I can't remember his name.
The running back this year is good.
He's okay, but the guy last year was like some walk on.
To me, I think this is very basic of overthinking things, dude. This is college football. It's like not the NFL where you can't throw the ball to somebody. You can't have 20 targets in an NFL game to one player. They figure it out. And it's like, you're going to have to go somewhere else with the ball. This is college. These guys are not, a lot of these defensive backs or whatever, they're not while they're better in the SEC, they're not all going to play in the NFL and be awesome NFL players. Like, dude, just throw the ball to the guy all the time. Like, he'll get the numbers. That guy's good enough. That play he made against South Carolina last week, that third down touchdown, dude, he just freaking one-on-one beat the guy off the ball. Perfect pass over the top, boom, ran away from him. Easy touchdown. Like, just seems like to me, if you had any kind of creativity offensively, you could find ways to just get that guy in one-on-one matchups and get him the ball.
Yeah. All right, Texas A&M, they are 8-1 against the spread on the road against teams with a losing home record. They're a 2.5-point favorite at Auburn. So maybe A&M is the play there. Oh. And finally, the Dallas Cowboys are the only American pro sports team without a home win in 2024.
No, it's not the Cowboys. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it meant. I saw Dallas. I saw this stat somewhere else. I thought it meant like the city of Dallas.
No. The Dallas Cowboys, the only American pro sports team without a home win in 2024. Every other team in the NBA, MLB, NHL, MLS, NFL all have at least one home win this season.
Sucks for Dallas.
Does. Really does. All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more, including free picks.
Free picks. And our picks, right?
And our other picks. Yeah. It's the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Behind the back to Jared for the flash.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bain 3. Yes, sir. Desmond Bain with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Our picks coming up in a moment. Also free picks before we get out of here today. But first, before we get to our picks, we want to do our weekly top five. And this week's top five, after the Kansas City Chiefs lost, we are doing our top five NFL teams. Top five NFL teams. I'll go ahead and lead us off. I got the Lions at number one. I've thought the Lions have been the best NFL team, but I just couldn't give them the crown because Kansas City hadn't lost yet. So the Lions at number one. I'm putting the Bills at number two because I think when you look at the NFL and the NFL playoffs, Lang, you need the teams that are playing the best at the right time. And I think as of today, the Bills are playing the second best football in the National Football League.
All right.
I'll take the Chiefs at number three. I really struggled with 4 and 5. I struggle with putting the Eagles because I don't know if I'm a believer, but they just keep winning. So I put them 4, and then the Green Bay Packers, my Super Bowl team, the team that I have winning the Super Bowl this year, I'll keep them in my top 5. Big one against San Francisco this week. Lang.
I kept the Chiefs number one. I know they lost a game, but they're going to get calls, and the NFL is trying to help them.
Yep.
be good, so I'll keep them number 1. Detroit, number 2, just they've historically been a snake bit, so you figure something's going to happen to them. Bills, 3. The thing to me is I got the Steelers 5, and I know some of you guys have them in your top 5. Like, why aren't more people just jumping on them -3 against the Browns tonight?
Their offense is pretty much
okay,
like,
but they're still one of the 5 best teams in the NFL.
Short week, and it was a real physical game against the Ravens, and it's a division game.
All right. Anyway, that's my list.
All right.
CJ?
Or CJ?
Is it me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Whoever.
I'll go Bills 1 with the win over the Chiefs. I got Chiefs 2. I got Steelers 3. Lions 4. Even I can't continue to hate on what Detroit's got going on. And then I'll go Eagles 5.
Jam those logos in there.
yeah, look at that.
All right.
I like that, CJ. I like that list.
Thank you, Roser.
Except for that piece of crap you got at number 2.
Where do you have the Chiefs?
Yeah,
Roser?
my list. We're going to go with the Lions, number 1.
Where's the Chiefs?
They're not on here. They suck. The Bills are number 2. I'd say I'm just such a Kansas City Chiefs hater. But, like, they're not. Like, dude, you watch the Chiefs, and you're like, do you watch the Chiefs and go, man, they look awesome.
They look pretty good.
Really impress me. Like, their defense is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And they were not amazing against the Bills. Josh Allen was amazing, though. I love Josh Allen. My God, what a great American he looked like last Sunday. Just, I know he wasn't doing it for my 49ers, but, like, it felt like it. Like, I felt that, and it was amazing. I'll take the Steelers 3rd, the Ravens 4th. I actually think if the Ravens and Steelers play again, I think the Ravens are a better team, but Steelers won, so we'll go Steelers. And I hate the Eagles. I didn't know who else to put. I hate the Eagles too.
Right.
But I hate the Eagles. I hate the Chiefs more than the Eagles, so the Eagles get in.
Did you think about putting the Chiefs in there?
No.
I didn't think
And
so.
like doesn't even know.
No.
All right.
All right. Well, there you go. There
Never crossed my mind.
This week's top 5 NFL teams. All right, time for our picks for the week. Each week we give our 5 picks for the week, and then we give free picks after that. So here are my 5 picks for the week. I'm going to start with Ole Miss -9.5 at Florida. Ole Miss 9-3 against the spread their last 12 games. I like Rice -6.5 at UAB. Rice 7-2-1 against the spread against AAC opponents. UAB 1-5 against the spread as a dog. I'll take Alabama, almost a 2-touchdown favorite at Oklahoma. Oklahoma 6-10 against the spread their last 16. I'll take the Texans -7.5 against the Titans.
That's a bold pick.
Houston's
Yeah, it's true.
Texans hate the Texans fans. The Houston Texans, they hate the Titans because they left.
Oh yeah,
a long time ago, and the Titans suck.
Yeah.
Houston 5-2 against spread their last 7. They've covered 6 of the last 7 against the Tennessee Titans as well. And then I'm taking the Lions over the Colts as well because the Lions are the best team in football. Lions 10-2 against the spread in their last 12. It's very chalky and a road kind of list this week. That concerns me a little bit, but there you go. That's my 5.
All right. By the way, guys, we have now moved to 50-50 on this season.
Let's go, Syndicate!
Yeah!
That's 64%, right,
Yeah.
Roser?
Go!
We're 120 and 120 overall. 50% right, 50% wrong.
Yeah. That's 74%.
Correct.
My math with Roser math.
I've been playing the hits all year, and it's been working for me. I'm 32 and 28 overall, and I'm going to take Indiana, which has been one of my hit teams all year.
Yep.
Look, Ohio State's had 2 big games. They lost to Oregon. It was a close game. They beat, who was it a couple weeks ago? Penn State. That was a close game, too. They've played pretty much close games in these big games. I think Indiana is going to figure out a way to keep this close. They might not win, but 2 touchdowns is a lot for Kurt Cignetti and that team. Also, Ohio State's center blew his ACL this week. So they're down, like, arguably their most important line.
Don't like a blown ACL.
Colorado is rolling right now. I think they're going to win at Kansas by more than a field goal. Army has been one of the other teams. Like Navy and Army were, for a while we kept doing the America parlay and betting on both of them. Navy sort of flamed out a little bit. Army's got everyone, like their quarterback's back, Bryson, and I think they're going to keep this within 2 touchdowns. This feels like one of those games Notre Dame screws up to. But I think Army will keep it close enough. And then Alabama's the other one. Like, there's all this talk about who's the best 2-loss team in the SEC and all that. Like, this feels like one of those games. Oklahoma's terrible. Feels like one of the games Alabama can come out and be like, we're the best team. We're going to come out and smoke Oklahoma right here. So I'll take Alabama and lay the points. And then the Ravens-Chargers, I just feel like I've watched the Chargers the last 3 weeks in a row for some reason, and I don't think they're that good. They're okay. They're fine. But I feel like the Ravens are kind of waiting to have one of those weeks, and I think the Ravens win by more than a field goal.
All right.
So.
CJ.
Michigan's fighting for bowl eligibility. I think they get it because if they don't get it this week, they just not.
Are they firing that coach?
No, they shouldn't. Why would they fire him?
Because they're not good.
It's his first year. Like you gotta. It's his first year. There's a cloud over the program. Give him another year to try and get this thing sorted. They got to get a quarterback quick though. This again next year will lead to
Colorado just flipped the 5-star USC had. They just announced like during our show, Julian Lewis, the kid who's he's anyway.
All right, so
Colorado got the quarterback.
Yes. I'll take, which was surprising. Not surprising. There was thoughts that, okay, you only got Shador because that was your son.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to get other quarterbacks to come through? Yeah. And lo and behold,
Travis Hunter
Coach Prime
too. That wasn't his son.
Well, Travis Hunter plays the prime position. Who would you rather play under if you're a player like that, Deion Sanders or any other coach in the nation? Michigan laying the 10.5 against Northwestern. Michigan is bad, but so is Northwestern. I don't think that Northwestern has athletes to keep up. I'll take Army plus the 14.5. Army leads the nation in rushing. Daly, like Lane brought up, is back, and he's one of the best rushers in the nation, not just at the quarterback position, but in general. In Notre Dame, they did lose to Northern Illinois. At times, they leave things to be desired. I think Notre Dame wins, but Army covers the 14.5. I will take Arizona State laying the 3.5 against BYU. I think BYU is a bit fraudulent, and after that first loss that they took last week, they're bound to lose another one. And so I will take Arizona State. I thought, Lang, when you were going to do who said it, I thought you'd do what Arizona State's coach was saying about getting into the conference championship game. But whatever. I'll go with Arizona State there. I'll take the Lions laying the 7.5 for the reasons that you said, Rob, and I will also take the Commanders minus 10 against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are bad, and the Commanders, one of the better covering teams in the NFL so far this season. I think they're like 7-4 or something like that against the spread.
All right, Roser.
Yeah, but it's my turn. All right, we're going to take the SCO Buffs, Colorado minus the 2.5 against Kansas. This feels too easy and weird, but we're going to roll with it anyway. Colorado minus the 2.5. Notre Dame, I'm taking a minus the 14.5 against Army. I'd buy the half point just to make it 14, just in case, they win by 14. But I look at this like they've seen this before. They saw this against Navy. They know what they're playing against. They killed Navy. I think they can do the same to Army. I'm taking the Bears plus 3.5. Sam Darnold was amazing the first 5 weeks of the season. Didn't really do anything wrong. He's got 14 turnovers this year. That dude threw 3 picks the other week, and they still won a game because they were playing the freaking Tennessee Titans. So, the reason nobody's talking about the Vikings being 8-2 is because Sam Darnold has started to be Sam Darnold. I like what I saw from the Bears. Thought they got a bump from the new offensive coordinator. Just better vibes, better vibes. Vibes don't always win.
Yeah.
But I'm getting 3.5. I'm getting 3 in the hook in a division game. I'm going to take it with the Bears. Broncos laying the 5.5 against the Raiders. The Broncos beat bad teams. Look at their wins. They beat bad teams. Bo Nix has gotten better. The Raiders suck. 5.5. Lay it with the Broncos. I'm taking the Cardinals plus the 1 at the Seahawks. Cardinals had the week off to prepare. I think the Seahawks had the kitchen sink game against the 49ers defensively. I saw it. I think the Cardinals get this one in Seattle.
Yeah, my Cardinals, division leaders right now.
They
in
are
NFC
the division
West.
leaders.
How about that? All right, anybody got free picks?
No.
No, Lang?
I told you I would take tonight. I'm taking the Steelers tonight.
Steelers tonight? All right.
I'll take Duke women's basketball. They take on the Bruins of Belmont laying the 14.5.
Okay.
What's the score? What's the spread in the Tigers game?
Yeah, what are we doing with the Tigers? Tigers are a 1.5-point dog to San Francisco tonight.
I'm taking the Vols minus 12.5 tonight against Virginia. Let's do a little Tennessee parlay. The Vols minus 12.5 tonight. And, wow, San Francisco is favored by 1.5 tonight against the Tigers.
What do you think?
I think we got to go Tennessee parlay.
A Tennessee parlay?
Yeah, Vols and Tigers.
Okay.
Oh, my.
All right.
Let's see if anybody else plays from Tennessee. Does Vandy play? Vanderbilt plays tonight, +2.5 against Nevada. Add them to it. Tennessee parlay, just money line. Yeah, Team Tennessee. Does Austin Peay, Tennessee
plays
State?
Tonight. Middle plays.
Middle already
plays?
didn't Middle already play?
Middle's
that
playing
game was
Ohio.
on.
Middle's playing Ohio tonight.
I feel
What
like
are
they
they
already
in? What
played.
Is that
conference
already
are
on?
they
I think
in?
so.
Oh, that's too bad.
Middle Tennessee? We don't know. Sun Belt Conference
They're
USA?
not in the Sun Belt. I'm
Conference
checking.
USA?
Are they in the OVC?
No, Middle's
OVO.
not.
Was that game
about
already
Tennessee
on? Really?
Tech?
UT Martin is in action tonight. They're catching 10.5. Add UT Martin to it.
Let's go.
Shout out Ben Hogan
Shout out Hogan.
and Lester Hudson.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, just find any Tennessee college basketball team tonight. Parlay it.
I had
Points
the
spread.
over in the Middle Tennessee. Well, I was going to bet the over or the under in the Middle Tennessee Ohio game, and I didn't get the bet in. I didn't know it was an early game. Luckily, it went overtime, and it went over.
There you go.
Didn't get a bet in. I call it a win.
There we go.
Yeah. So
Fortuitous.
Here's a couple of other free picks for you.
Very big.
NC State plus the 8.5 tonight at Georgia Tech.
Okay.
All right.
Georgia Tech got drilled by Georgia just a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they did not look good.
And then San Francisco, we're going to take Memphis over San Francisco on our Tennessee parlay with Roser. And then we got a Pucks pick, Boston Bruins against the Utah Hockey Club. We're going with Boston. You can take them in 60 minutes. Take them in 60 minutes. You'll get closer to even money if you do that because I think they're about a 170 favorite. So if you do 60 minutes, you can probably get it at about 130. So the Boston Bruins a pick tonight in the NHL. All right, that's going to do it for us here on The Odds Couple. Thank you much for joining us. What else do I have? How about a Najee Harris, 60-plus rushing yards,
Put it down. Put the phone down.
and Elijah Moore, 3+ receptions?
That's when you're going too far. Fish.
Parlay that.
Yeah, that's
Bob, you might need to call the hotline, dog.
And how about Jalen Warren, 50 rushing
The
receiving yards
hotline's
combined?
in the break room in there.
Thank you for joining us here on The Odds Couple. Good luck with your bets. Enjoy all the action this weekend. Don't forget, we'll be back with you on Monday at 2 o'clock here on The Odds Couple, each and every Monday and Thursday at 2 here on Grind City Media. For CJ, for Roser, for Lang, I'm Fish. So long, everyone. We'll talk to you Monday.